An entire community continues to mourn, and pretty hard. We're seeing how far-reaching the faith family of the LDS Church truly is.
And our team coverage continues now with Dave Spencer. He's live outside the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And Dave, what are you seeing there tonight?
Yeah, I'm as close as you could get. This is the end of the road behind me. The barricade's still set up, preventing people from getting any closer to the church, which is very much a crime scene at this very moment here. But earlier today, there was a long line of cars parked along both sides of the shoulder here. Many members of the media here coming and parking in people's lawns. And obviously the people that are here, this is all very foreign to them. They've never experienced any sort of tragedy like them to experience this influx of media. And among those people, among the media members, were three women that were heading down this way, and I stopped and spoke with them. They were LDS members of the same church just in Phoenix, Arizona. They decided when they heard about this tragedy, they happened to be vacationing here in Michigan, that they felt compelled to come out here, and they brought flowers with them so they could come get as close as they can and just be with their community. They told me they felt rather helpless as they were learning the scope of the attacks that occurred here Sunday morning. Like many, they were simply looking for a way to start the healing process, not knowing where to begin, just to show up and show some love after the tragedy caused by such a hateful act. As members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, they were also able to give us a little perspective about what a typical day of worship would consist of.
At any given Sunday, I mean, the service is only an hour long, but there could be hundreds of people in that service. And then after that, they disperse and go like to little Sunday school classes for all the ages of the kids and things like that. So this was in the main sanctuary, if you want to say it, where all the people were gathered.
Yeah, we're also hearing some stories of faith and forgiveness. I actually spoke with one person who gave me permission to paraphrase a letter that was posted on social media. The person was in the church. Their father shot and killed, and says the shooter spared her life. And she wrote this, quote, "I saw into his soul and he saw into mine and he let me live. And I'm sharing this now because I believe it's one of the reasons I was there." It goes on to say, for anyone who could set aside hate, maybe that time won't be now for you and maybe one day. And what we say does matter. If we stop the hate, we can stop the suffering, end quote. Again, that was from a letter that was written by somebody inside the church who watched her father die at the hands of this gunman and was actually spared, and then had it in her heart to forgive that man right there on the spot. Some of the remarkable stories that are starting to surface about a community that is coming to the grim reality of what they're having to deal with and how they're going to have to go on from here. You're going to hear more stories like that from people who were very close when they heard the sound of a car, or a truck rather, crashing into that church, then the sound of gunshots, then the smoke rising, then first responders arriving on that scene. We'll have that story coming up on The Edge at 11. For now, live in Grand Blanc, Dave Spencer, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, so much darkness we've been talking about for the more than 24 hours since this story broke. Dave, you, me, Taryn, the whole team bringing stories like that. But now we are starting to see that light, that hope, perhaps those stories of forgiveness as you talk about, but perhaps the biggest question that people still have, and the thing that's standing in the way of trying to understand this, is why?
Yeah, what could lead to this, right? I mean, it's hard for anyone to comprehend, and harder still to even not know and still forgive. And I guess that's the power of faith, and that's the only thing that hopefully the people that do believe and do profess that faith can lean on at this moment, and one another, of course.
We wish them continued strength as the entire country rallies around them here tonight. Dave Spencer for us in Grand Blanc Township. Thank you. We'll be right back.